Hi, my name is Ren, and today I will show you how to install Gentoo Linux from the minimal installation medium. So as you can see, this is a lot different than any other tutorial, because all other tutorials, most of them, mainly use other live ISOs to install Gentoo, whether it's Linux Mint or, Ubuntu, could be anything, absolutely anything. Because it's easier to do from uh, all these other installation mediums. But this is a bit different. This is an official Gentoo installation media, so we won't have to pay attention to many of the handbook warnings about some stuff being different in non-Gentoo installation media. But this is going to be a bit harder because we're going to have to use, CLI browsers, like internet browsers, and just everything's going to be just a teeny bit more difficult, but it's doable even on hardware. I'm going to show you how to do everything. So, as always, I just quickly check something. Okay, I knew it's going to be like this because I'm in a virtual machine, but you might be on hardware without an Ethernet port, and this is where WPA supplicant comes in. Now, in the Arch installation guide, I showed you how to connect to Wi-Fi with IWD, with the command IWCTL and stuff, Now, my my virtual machine does not have anything here. This is why I'll have to do a little something. Okay, so if you're using Virt Manager like me, you just go here, you add hardware, and you don't know what to do. Me neither, don't worry. Now, network. Bridge device. I have no idea what this means. Anyways, you can add a Wi-Fi card or anything if you don't want to use the default connection, which I don't know why you wouldn't. Now, if you're in hardware with a Wi-Fi card, it's gonna be a bit more difficult than using IWD. So you'll have to do this: if config, the name of your interface, so let's say WLAN 0 or WLO1, up to set it up. Later, you're gonna do IW list, your interface name, scan, you're gonna send it to grep ESSID, or as I like to call it, ACID. No, I'm gonna say ESSID. Now, this command will show you the networks around you, and you're gonna want to find your network. And now, WPA underscore passphrase. Now you're gonna type in your ESSID. My Wi-Fi's name is Mikasa, Mikasa, and I'm gonna enter my password, the password to my Wi-Fi, which of course I'm not gonna share on the internet. So 1234, and now T etsy WPA underscore supplicant .conf, and this is gonna send the password to that exact network to a little config file. And now you're gonna want to do WPA underscore supplicant dash capital B, not capital C, etsy WPA underscore supplicant .conf dash I, and your interface name. This should connect you. Now, you might not find the IW list command. Let's see. Okay, no, it is on the Gentoo installation media, but you might not find it in other installation medias or while installing a different system which does not have IWD pre-installed. Worry not, you just have to remember your ESSID, your Wi-Fi name, put it into quotation marks, and you're gonna be good to go. It's gonna be okay. So now that we're configured to the network, we're gonna do now that we're connected to the network, we're gonna do something that's completely unrelated to the network. We're gonna go into CF disk, and we're gonna partition our disk. GPT, because I'm on UEFI, new, and let's do a 256 megabyte boot partition, a 1 gig swap partition, and the rest is gonna be our root partition. Now I'm gonna do the types because I'm a tiny little person. Write, yes, quit. If we run lsblk, yeah, okay, it's VDA, not anything else. And now let's mkfs.fat dash capital F 32 dev VDA1 mk swap dev VDA2, and let's immediately do swap on dev VDA2. Let's be okay, and mkfs.ext4 extended for dev VDA3. It is done. Now let's mount. So mkdir-p mnt/gentoo. Now this is a bit dumb because the Gentoo handbook recommends you to, if you're using Gentoo installation media, you should mount stuff to just /mnt/boot, etc. But I'm just so used to doing it like this, I'm gonna just stick to this. It works, it's okay. So let's make this mount dev VDA3 mnt/gentoo, and then mkdir-p mnt gentoo boot, then mount dev VDA1 mnt gentoo boot, lsblk, everything's mounted perfectly. So now what we can do is install the stage 3 tarball. So as I said, we're gonna be using CLI browsers, and they're really intuitive, let me tell you that, especially Lynx, which is the only one I know. So let's go into Lynx, https gentoo.org/downloads. Oh wait, no, before that, don't press enter or quit if you did. Let's immediately cd into mnt/gentoo. It's gonna make our lives easier. Whoops, what did I do? Okay, sorry. Wait. Am I done? Wait. Links. See? Alright, okay. Let's scroll down with our arrow keys into our preferred stage 3 tarball. So of course I'm going to be using OpenRC with the desktop profile because I'm also going to show you how to install either, let's say, i3 or DWM. I'll just choose on the go. So I'm going to choose this. This is also making our lives easier if you want to install any desktop environment or window manager afterwards, because it has the use flags already installed. I mean, the packages relating to the use flags are required for a desktop profile, so all the Xorg stuff and all those other things. So just install the stage 3 desktop profile with either OpenRC or systemd. I chose OpenRC, so enter and save. We're gonna wait a second. Just a short little second. I'm not gonna pause the video. I'm gonna stay here to make it a bit more realistic. Maybe, boost your ego if you have faster internet than me. Mine is not that great. I'm gonna skip all of the verifying steps. I don't do that kind of stuff with these things because I know this is from gentoo.org. So downloads. Now what is with this? What's with this? Okay, I'm gonna pause after all. Okay, so see you in a second. Okay, after a while of waiting, I realize I just need to restart the download. So now, let me just escape, file, and exit. And now if you list all the files here, you're gonna see, yeah, stage 3. So now, let's run tar xvpf stage 3, and don't press enter yet. x attrs include equals star dot star or asterisk asterisk and numeric owner. And this is gonna what it does is okay, X for extract, obviously, P for preserve permissions, F to denote that we want to extract a file, and the X attrs is I'm gonna quote the wiki on this one. Include preservation of the extended attributes in all namespaces stored in the archive. And the numeric owner option is used to ensure that the user and group IDs of the files being extracted from the tarball will remain the same as Gentoo's release engineering team intended. So yeah, that's just additional safety measures just in case something bad happens. Now I personally never had any problems with just doing XPVF or just XVF, you know. Maybe there are some problems related to it. I never encountered any. So we're nearing the end. Yeah, okay. So let's quickly go into nano -w mnt gentoo etsy portage make.conf. And this is a very important file, let me tell you. In this file you're going to be doing every single thing unless you're a portage master and you're gonna know all the options. And I didn't explain what portage is yet. Portage is the package manager in Gentoo. So here in make.conf we're gonna be setting up use flags, which are some required packages, lists of packages. So, but we're not gonna be doing that now. Right now we're gonna be setting up make opts to at least make emerge work. So as you could have seen at the beginning, I had 6 little Linux tuxes at the top of my screen, which I think refer to processor cores, but I'm not so sure. But I have... Okay, so the wiki explains that a good choice for those make opts is the number of threads the CPU has, or the total system RAM divided by 2. I assigned an unnecessary 26 gigs of RAM, but if I divide it by 2, that's gonna be 13, and I only have 6 cores. So I'm gonna assign like -J4. Okay, let's do 6. And let's exit, and let's install the base system. So let's run mirror select -I-O, 2 arrows pointing to the right, mnt gentoo etsy portage and make.conf. It's gonna open up a really nice little GUI, and I'm gonna go to Poland because that's where I am right now. We'll select all of these. Okay. And now we can make a directory -b mnt gentoo etsy portage repos.conf. And now we're gonna copy mnt gentoo user share portage config repos.conf into mnt gentoo etsy portage repos.conf and gentoo.conf. And now we're gonna copy some DNS info, cpd reference, it's funny to type, etsy resolve.conf into mnt gentoo etsy. Alright, and now this step is a lot easier on some other non-Gentoo installation media, just a live CD of Mint or Ubuntu, because you can just copy the commands from the site. But we're in a CLI, just a CLI because that stands for command line interface. We cannot copy from any external window, and even while I'm in a virtual machine, I don't have copy and pasting from host to the machine setup. So I'll just have to type them manually. So mount dash dash types proc or pros dash pros mnt gentoo proc mount rbind dash sys mnt gentoo sys, standing for system, not sister. Mount make r slave mnt gentoo sys. Let's move on. Mount rbind dev mnt gentoo dev, and mount make rslave mnt gentoo dev. Let's move on. Mount just bind run mnt gentoo run, and mount make just slave mnt gentoo run. That's done, and let's chroot, chroot, however you want to call it, gentoo bin bash source etc profile. Now this is completely optional, it's mainly for aesthetic reasons. So this command right here, wait, just one more step. Yeah, see, we can just have this little chroot text. So now let's run emerge web rsync. This is gonna be our little first experience with Portage. Now unfortunately, unlike many package managers, Portage does not have a command called Portage. You don't just type in Portage install something. The command for Portage is emerge. So if you want to, let's say, install a package, which is the wrong word obviously, you'll want to type emerge and maybe dash dash ask to confirm some stuff or to change some configuration files, and then package name. Alright, so let's do emerge dash dash sync. This is an optional step, but always good to do. It's not gonna take too long. Now after this, we're gonna also have our first little encounter with another important tool in Gentoo. It's gonna come handy a few times after installing this, mainly for like repository reasons, like when you have some different repositories in Arch, like the Valve AUR or multilib. You can have different Portage repositories in Gentoo. So the eselect command will gonna come handy in with that, but we're not gonna use it for that now. What we're gonna use it for is eselect profile list. Profiles, as you can see, are they can be these desktop profiles which we have selected. There can be some there's so many, they don't fit on my screen, but as you can see there's like hardened kernels and stuff. Wait, I have to point differently because the cursors are kind of desynced. I don't know how to call it. Hardened kernel, there's desktop plasma, there's many to choose from. You have GNOME, Plasma, desktop with systemd, which we have this one selected, but if you want to select a different one, you'd have to type eselect profile set and then the number corresponding to your desired profile. Let's move on. Let's update the @world set. So emerge ask update deep. Now new use, that's the most important if you select a different profile, because each profile contains a different list of use flags. So for example, if you just got the normal OpenRC stage 3 tarball and you select the desktop profile, this step is gonna take a long while. So at world, enter. It's not gonna take too long for me. You're gonna see how many packages I have to emerge now, or merge. Yeah, because these are, yeah, see. How many is this? 3, 6, 10 packages to merge. Now you could have around 250 packages if you went from a little, normal OpenRC stage 3 tarball and selected the desktop profile. Now, God save you if you downloaded a stage 3 OpenRC tarball and selected a systemd profile. That's gonna, add even more packages to that. So, think about everything. So I'm gonna pause the video right now and see you in a second. Okay, it is done now, so we can move on now. I can finally explain what the use variable is, what the use flags are. So if when you're installing packages on different distributions, they usually come with everything, every single support, little parts that support everything. So let's say you install some sort of package that has a program in it where you can customize some stuff, and it has just support for GNOME, Plasma and stuff. But you're gonna just use a window manager without any desktop environment, at least. That's what I'm gonna do with this virtual machine. So it's nano -w mnt Gentoo portage. Wait. Oh, etc portage. Oh, come on, what now? Oh wait, we're rooted. See, etc portage make.conf. Oh, I'm dumb. I am root. So let's make some space and let's configure some use flags. Oh, Jesus. So I don't want support for no KDE stuff. This is a virtual machine, so no DVD, no CDR, no ALSA, no Qt5. What else? Well, I do want support for X, obviously. AMD 64, and I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so save, exit. Okay. Now we can, this is an optional step too, but it's gonna make your life easier in case you forget about this. So I always like to set it. Let's go into etc portage make.conf again. I told you we're gonna use this file a lot. Get some space again. Accept _ license equals all. Because we don't want to have any problems with disabled licenses. Okay, let's set our time zones. So since this is OpenRC, we cannot just make a symbolic link, unfortunately. So echo Europe Warsaw into etc time zone. Now emerge --config sys-libs time zone data. Okay. Now let's go into etc locale.gen and let's uncomment our desired locale and locale.gen. Let's run that command. And now we're going to use eSelect again to list our locales, and we're going to set it to 4 because that's where en_us.utf8 is. And now let's run env-update. Let's update our environment. Source etc profile, and I'm not gonna do that PS1 stuff. Alright. let's configure the kernel. Now, I'm not gonna be configuring the kernel with menu config and stuff. What I'm gonna be doing is, first of all, emerging sys-kernel slash linux dash firmware. Yep, I want that. And to configure and compile my kernel, I'm not going to be manually configuring it and building it. I'm not going to be using distribution kernels. Or actually, I could use a distribution kernel. Yeah, I'm going to be using a distribution kernel. Because for my laptop here, which I am using, you can see right here, I have a Linux system installed. I used Gentoo because I just need Wi-Fi support and I didn't want to go through every settings in the menu config. I know that's unwise and it's bloated right now, but come on, just cut me some slack. Okay, it's almost done, it's installing now. Okay, so let's get a distribution kernel, which is gonna be, like, I have my the handbook open on my phone and I'm just scrolling through it. Okay, so emerge a for /ask sys-kernel, okay, gentoo-kernel -bin. So it's a binary. We're not gonna compile it, like compile the package and stuff from source. We're downloading a binary. So this is gonna install for a little while. It's just for packages. We don't have to worry. The gen kernel way, that would take a longer while, because the recommended way, and the way I went, is gen kernel all, the all option, which just enables everything in the menu config, like, not in the menu config. If you were to enable everything in the menu config, that's the same what the all option does in gen kernel. So ideally it enabled Wi-Fi support, Wi-Fi card support for me, which I could not find. For the love of God, I've spent so many hours just researching on the internet. What am I doing wrong? I'm selecting every right thing. Just use gen kernel if you're running into such problems. Don't worry. Okay, this should be done soon, please. Oh god, that's gonna install for a while. I mean, binary or not, it is still Linux kernel. Okay, so maybe I'll pause the video right now. Okay, it is done. So with Portage you can upgrade the kernel, but to save some space, because it will keep the older kernel versions, you're gonna want to periodically run emerge --dep clean to, just remove some older packages. Now let's configure the system. That's at least what the chapter is called. So you might remember in Arch Linux we used a command genfstab, but it's an Arch Linux exclusive. So what you're gonna want to do is emerge git dev-vcs.git. It is gonna take a little while, but it's gonna be really nice, because some people might not want to edit the fstab file manually by themselves, because it does come with a risk of messing some stuff up. So we're gonna use this kind of a, how do I say it? This port of of the Arch Linux Gen FSTab tool to any distribution really. So once it installs everything, we're gonna clone the repository. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Oh come on, just merge. Just merge and install, please. I don't want to pause the video again. Even though it might save me some time. Maybe you're waiting for me right now because you selected many cores, like with the Mako PTS option you just went -J12 or something. And you just merge those packages instantaneously. Come on, it should be done. Oh, come on. Okay, installing this 6 out of 6. Yeah, okay. Git clone https github.com/glaceon/genfstab cd genfstab ls. What do we have here? Let's run genfstab. Alright, here's everything. And let's right arrow it into etc fstab and let's cat it. Okay, let's compare it. Everything's correct, so we can move on into nano-w etc conf.d hostname. Here you can get wild and name it Gentoo-vn unless you're installing on hardware and you have a preferred hostname. Let's skip through this net thing. Okay, emerge a net-misc dhcp-cd. It's just one little package, little. It's still gonna take a while. It's Gentoo and it's a virtual machine without shared memory, so you know, even one small package will take a while. rc update add dhcp-cd default, and rc service dhcp-cd start. Now, oh, why? Ah, it's already okay. Now, if you let me just ask you, why would you choose systemd? But if you chose systemd, you have to run systemctl enable --now dhcp-cd. But we are using OpenRC. Now, if you want to use wireless, like Wi-Fi, you want to emerge WPA supplicant or IWD, because it's also available on Gentoo. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you can use to connect to Wi-Fi on Gentoo. I connected once after installing on my laptop and didn't have to connect once again, and I did it with WPA supplicant the way that I showed you before. So let's move on. Let's set the root password. Okay, and let's install some tools. Now we have Nano, that's okay. Let's install. Okay, so we got the HCPCD. There is WPA supplicant, obviously. Okay, no tools to install. Let's install grub. On the other hand, sysboot/grub. Oh wait, before that, don't press enter yet. If you're on UEFI, echo this. grub underscore platforms equals EFI-64 into etc portage make.conf, and now emerge a sys boot grub. It's gonna be a few, but yeah, okay. And now you can check with lsblk where your boot partition is mounted. I remember mine's mounted on mnt Gentoo boot, which is just /boot. Okay, this is gonna install in a while. Yeah, it's the last package now. It installs EFI boot manager right away, as you can see, as you could see there. It's no longer on the screen. Now I don't know what boot directory grub considers the default one. So just to be, cautious, just to, be safe, let's, after it installs, obviously, let's install grub with the EFI directory kind of parameter option. I don't know what to call it. Come on, install. As you can see, grub is a bit of a bigger package, and it has a bigger package inside of it. Now, if you don't want to use grub, you can always use, something else like Lilo or simply EFI boot manager, maybe syslinux. There's many bootloaders to choose from, I'm aware. Why is it taking so long? Okay, this looks a bit more okay, this looks very promising. Come on. Okay. Okay. Grub and oh wait, let's be okay. Okay. Grub install target equals x86_64-EFI EFI directory equals boot. No error reported. Great. Now grub-mkconfig-o boot grub.cfg. Now you may want to install OS Prober, see right here, if you want to dual boot. Now I'm installing it in a virtual machine, a temporary. I gotta mention that too. So I'm not gonna be dual booting. I'm not gonna show you how to install it. You just install the OS Prober package and reinstall grub. Not remerge grub, but just reinstall with the grub install package. Or no, you just remake the config. Okay. So after that, we can reboot. We can Control D and umount -l mnt Gentoo dev -shm bts and umount -R mnt Gentoo target's busy. Why? It shouldn't be. Okay. Okay, now it's gonna do it. And let's reboot. Let's see if we've done everything correctly. See if grub shows up. Yep. Okay, Gentoo's there. Alright. So let's log in as root, because we haven't set up a user yet. So let's do just that. User add -m to, you know, give him a home folder, -g wheel rem. Now ignore that mailbox file error. That's okay. Let's set a password. What's nice from Gentoo's side is their way of recommending you some strong passwords. They're really cool. Alright, now we can emerge sudo to, you know, put that wheel group to use, like actually. So I'll come right back when this completes. Okay, now that sudo is installed, let's run. Wait, do we have nano? Okay, we do have nano. Nano -w and it. Oh no, wait. The editor equals nano vsudo. Let's search for wheel and let's uncomment this thing. Okay, now if we go into our user and run sudo, let's say emerge dep clean. Yep, it works. So let's go back to being root because we are not done with installing stuff yet. So as you may remember, I wrote X in our, right here. There's X in the use flags, so that's okay. You should add it and update that world variable. So now we have the X support. So let's emerge a x11 base xorg-server or xorg x11. This is a meta package. But xorg server is a bit more lightweight, and see, this is lightweight. this is lightweight in comparison to the meta package. So install this, and we're gonna be setting up, you know, xinit to have the xinit.rc file. I'm gonna install lightdm and dwm. Of course, after xorg is done. So be right back. Xorg is now installed. Now there's one more package that we're gonna want to merge, which is xinit. So it's an x11 apps, not base, xinit, which will allow us to use the start x command and you know, obviously make the xinit.rc file. Now it's one package. I'm gonna stay here and explain some stuff. Now we're not gonna be installing any packages for DWM, even though those exist for Gentoo, but I do not like that. I like to configure my stuff the way it's intended by the creator. So right now, if we run start x, it's not gonna do absolutely anything. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so for this, we're gonna change to our user. Okay. Clear. Now, if I run start x as the user, permission denied. Do I have to emerge xinit.rc as the user? I mean just xinit. No, sudo. Okay, I'm gonna emerge it as the user because I think that does make a little difference. So, for installing DWM, we're gonna want git, which we already have, and a bit of, you know, patience. LSAL. Now x authority is there. Great. Okay. So if I run start x, it's not gonna come up with the problem. Oh, permission denied. Bruh. Okay. If we're gonna use a login manager, it's gonna be okay. So let's just, I mean, no, if I run sudo start x, it's gonna, yeah, see, did the same thing. So let's clone git.suckless.org/dwm. Okay, dwm ls. We can just sudo make clean install Zinorama. Okay, we'll need that. So let's sudo emerge a, and it's x11 libs libx Zinorama with a capital X. That's why I said like that. Yeah, we'll need that for DWM apparently. Zinorama is a use flag as well, just Zinorama. Okay, sudo make clean install. Let's see. Okay, sudo start x. No. Okay, right, because we need to create the xnrc file. No. That's funny. Okay, let's become root and do it. We're not gonna be using our user now. I'm sorry for that. Okay, see, it runs. Great. It's working. We don't have any terminal emulator yet, which is why we'll have to quit. Okay. And we'll have to get ST, which is the default terminal, which is a suckless terminal, or simple terminal. Okay, so okay, let's git clone https git.suckless.org st. Let's enter st and make clean install. Is it okay? We'll see. Apparently not. Okay, let's go back to the DWM folder. Okay. rm config.h. Let's move config def h into config.h just to make our lives easier, and nano config h, and let's look. Okay, define your static const char term cmd equals st. We could change that to absolutely anything. One more thing I am going to try is install the st package. This is going to be my last resort. x11 terms, there's a whole little category for those, and st. Yep, okay. Let's see how it's gonna go. Let's, after us quickly run start x, we're gonna see. No, it doesn't work for some reason. Alright, well, guess we're gonna have to emerge some other terminal, let's say. I really like Alacrity. I've been using it as my default one for a long while now, so we're gonna use Alacrity. Is this constantly the same thing? No, okay. It looks the same. And we're gonna change the term CMD thing in the configuration file for DWM to be redirecting us not into ST but into Alacrity. And this is taking a while. It's just a terminal emulator. Is it having problems with my mirror? I don't know. You know, there's no... The difference between this and Debian is the little apt loading bar, which I really like. Now, why is there a smiley face there? Jeez. Maybe I'm gonna use Kitty. Wait. It's also a pretty nice terminal emulator. Yeah, and this is normal. This is okay. unlike Alacrity. Okay, it's free packages. They don't seem to be too big. Term info and the Kitty package itself. So I'm gonna wait here. Maybe it's not gonna take too long. And we're gonna see if it works. Yeah, okay, it's installing. Alright. Nano config.h. Let's look for ST. Whatever. Okay. Okay. And it does not want to open. It does. Because I was using the wrong key binding. Okay, clear the screen, emerge a new fetch. Now, the default mod key is Alt in DWM, so you can move windows like an i3. I don't know why it's so laggy, I'm sorry. And you can change the so-called tags here, or workspaces, if you want, with the Alt key. Let's run neofetch. And I hope this tutorial worked. Now, just a little tip. If you want to install Firefox, really emerge firefox-bin. Get the binary, don't get the full Firefox package. And one more thing for new OpenRC users, you don't use shutdown, because that's gonna just not work. Use the power of command. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. I hope this tutorial has helped you at least a little bit, and goodbye.